What's up, everybody? I'm Nate here,
Yo, it's Kev.
2/3 of the super group that is GamesMusicLyfe, and we're back with a review of this Tribe Called Quest album.
Yes.
Okay, titled "We Got It From Here." Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
What did you think of the title? First off, what did you think of that?
I don't know what exactly they're thanking us for, but you're welcome, I guess.
Yeah, the rumor. Well, I mean, not rumor, but the group Q-Tip came out and said that the title was actually named by Fife,
Word.
and they didn't really know what it meant, but they just rocked with it. And then he passed away, and they were like, okay, we can't change it now, so they kept it as that. But I'm guessing there was something to go along with that, and Fife Dog, rest in peace. Only he knew what it was. I mean, first off, this album was really like I never thought it was gonna see the light of day. They were actually known for having riffs between all of them.
Yeah, I thought that they weren't coming with another project. That was the word a few years ago, that they were broken up and it was done.
It was done, right. Yeah. And then they popped up on 2013 on the Yeezus tour. Yep. And did a couple shows on there. Then they got into it again and stopped that tour. So I thought they were kind of on bad terms almost. I didn't even know that this album was coming. It kind of caught me off guard. One of the guys I work with, he's a huge Tribe fan, and he told me about it, and I'm like, I didn't even know anything was coming out.
Yeah, I had no clue, man. I
knew nothing about it. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, track one, what'd you think?
Space Program. I thought it was a solid way to open up the album. I like the sound clip at the beginning.
Yeah,
a lot. You know what I'm saying? Solid. It's got a real solid Tribe sound. They kicked it off the way that they were supposed to. I mean, nothing out of this world, but it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down. I thought it was a decent track. Heavy Q-Tip. Typical Tribe Called Quest beat. I hate to really put it in a pocket like that, but that kind of is it. Like the upbeat, dancey, vibey, vibrant thing type thing. It's like it was that. And that's one thing about this album in a whole that I kind of took me a little bit to get used to. Because first off, it's a double CD.
Yeah.
So being that most people download music and you have streaming services, it doesn't really matter. You just get 16 tracks, so you won't really know it. But it does go 1 through 8 and then 1 through 8. And I had to look at it again. And I read actually downloaded the digital booklet and read it, and it is a double CD. So if you buy the physical,
why?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, at 16 songs, you could have got this on one CD.
Right. Yeah. But the thing about it is, though, I think it was almost like two different genres almost, because the first CD was kind of like, I'll go more into it more when we review the songs, but I didn't really understand some of the vision in the first CD. Whereas the second CD, it was like the title, then the songs went with the title, and what they talked about went with it. So it was a little bit all over the place on CD 1, but it was okay. I preferred CD 2 more than CD 1. It actually picked up a lot of steam.
See, I feel like maybe it might be pre and post Fife.
It might be, and that's the thing too. Is like it wasn't really much Fife on here, of course, because he passed away.
Right.
But it was like and I had to realize that I'm more of a Fife fan than I am a Tribe fan.
Really?
And I really liked Scenario. I love when Busta Rhymes ran with him because he was pretty much the honorary member of them, and he came through and gave a couple of good offerings on here. But
yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was solid. With some of them, I was just in one of the later tracks I didn't really like, but. So yeah, that's kind of where it is, a double CD. So track 2, what do you think of that one?
We the People. I thought it was a good track, man. Really spoke to the times. I thought that was dope, but kind of put the Tribe spin on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was dope.
Yeah.
The way that they put it together. I mean, the beat was a little. I don't really know how to categorize it. Nothing on this album was lackluster, I felt like, but that beat didn't necessarily capture me at the same time.
You know what the thing was? It was like, I loved the beat. I hated the chorus, and the chorus really didn't. I didn't get it. I didn't really understand it. I didn't like how, and some artists from this time frame get in trouble with this is they do the chorus. And so they do the rhyming, then they do the chorus. So it's almost like you kind of
too much.
Yeah, it's too much of them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. The theme of this album that I kind of recognized with was that the choruses is kind of what threw me off. And even later on in the album, they had some other people doing choruses, and I didn't like it. And so I'll talk about that later as well. But yeah, I thought it was an okay song. I thought it was definitely good to hear Fife. He was definitely in his lane. He even used some sports references like he typically did on his previous albums that they did. He's a huge sports fan, so anybody knew, like, who followed Fife, he was a big sports fan, talked a lot of trash, true New Yorker. And so he actually went through a couple references in this song that I really liked. So it was one of the songs on here that had Fife on it, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely solid. It was definitely solid.
Okay, so track 3.
Tell me what you thought about track 3.
Fife leads the track. All right, and I like Fife. All right, but after his first set of bars, this can go. This can get all the way out of here. Okay, and it sounded very dated. Like it sounded like they took the mic almost like it was an old song, because it just didn't sound. Even Fife's bars was a little bit dated, but like I said, it's just I feel good hearing him. I was just such a fan of him.
Yeah.
But after his first lines, like this song we could do without this one.
I felt the same a lot on this track. I was happy to hear Fife because now this is something we'll kind of touch on a little bit later on, but I felt like we got a lot more Fife on the first disc than we did on the second.
Yeah.
And it sounded like we got a lot of old Fife verses on the second disc. But on here, this was, I don't want to say it was a skippable track because the whole album, was very cohesive. You could play it front to back and, it rides through. But I don't know, it was kind of a slowdown point on the album.
Like I said, it sounded like a song that maybe if Fife was alive, they probably would have debated if that would have made the album.
Yeah.
Because it didn't seem like it fit. And it was, like I said, it just sounded like a very dated song.
It probably is pretty old, man. You know what I'm saying? It probably is old, and, they had to just use the material that they had. So
right.
It is what it is. But from there, man, Solid Wall of Sound, bro. I love that. I love Solid Wall of Sound.
Oh,
man. I
man.
love that sample. It was like that beat is banging. It's got that crispy just soul sample in there. Like, yo, I love that track. It's fire.
Okay, so this is track 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I wrote down. It had an island feel. Buster gave a spirited return, but once again, it sounded good. It sounded a little dated on some of the bars, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The repetitive chorus, I just don't get it. I don't get the repetitive chorus. Like, it just kept going back. Like they kept saying the same cadence over and over and over and over and over. Then the song just ends.
Yeah.
And like I said, I did like the song. I just didn't, once again, to fit the theme of my theme of the album is the choruses just sounded off to me.
But I mean, you know what? That was Tribe. Like, it sounded like them.
It was. No, it was.
They kept their sound.
Exactly. And that's the thing about it is I don't want to crap on it like it was. Like I hated it. It's just more so I kind of just wanted more out of them.
Yeah.
And I guess I wanted something I couldn't get. First of all, like we know Fife has passed away and we can't get a different sound because he's not here to participate in that. So that means Q-Tip had to pick up a lot of the heavy lifting. Yeah. And Q-Tip's voice over time just kind of like gets on me. And
really,
man, it's like, you know what it is he talks about a lot, and I think he's a very intelligent dude. Like, I can listen to him talk. He actually can, very well hold a conversation. I've heard, some of his spoken word was very good. But when the beats come on, and I gotta put this to the production. Shaheed Muhammad does the beats, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, it's like all of it was fitting that Tribe Called Quest sound, but it was like I wanted them to venture out a little bit more.
Nah, man, I felt like that was the best part of it. Was that they stayed true to form.
I like the fact they stayed true to form, and some of it has some soul too. And I'll get into that because the one track had a violin on it, and I had it on repeat. But I guess I kind of wanted more of that and less of some of this stuff, because like some of the songs, and we'll get more into it later on, it sounded like he was like just mixing two songs together almost, and I didn't get some of that, But the songs were very short, so that's another reason too that it wasn't really a huge offering song wise, like 3.5, maybe 3 minutes for each track.
Yeah.
And right when I was kind of getting into it, it would switch up, and then it was like it would end, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah. At the end on some of the songs.
I think that was another one of those tracks. This was another thing I kind of noticed. There were long pauses at the end of some of these tracks.
Yes.
For some reason, like I would almost think that the music stopped playing.
There was one song that it literally just stopped.
Yeah.
And then it came in with something else.
Yeah, and then the sound just shifts completely.
But you remember on Midnight Marauders they did that. Remember that's when they had was a Scenario 2? Where he came in, stars upon. That was actually the end of another song, so that was kind of like you didn't know it was there. Maybe that's what they were trying to do.
Perhaps, but it's a little bit jarring because I have to check to make sure that, like, oh man, it didn't pause, did it? I'm not getting a call or anything.
I thought my amp went out on my headphones because I'm like, it just stopped. Yeah. Like literally, somebody just hit the stop button. Yeah. Okay, so next track, track 5.
This Generation.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I do like though is all the MCs that were on it, they flowed off each other.
Yeah.
It didn't sound bad. They all, Buster came in once again and did a good job. He sounded like Young Buster on this one,
He
and
did.
that stood out to me.
That was the theme across this album. Like,
Yes.
Buster kind of returned to form.
Exactly, Buster did return to form, and I don't know if who told him to get out of that pocket, but that was always him. That wild comeback, say, what I mean? It was like it was a true Buster. At one point, Buster had the game on choke.
He did.
And
He
when he had a flip mode going, he had a really good going, and that was kind of when Tribe broke up and wasn't doing too much music. So it was kind of like you could hear that same type of sound in Buster. And he kind of even went, took it to another level. He went back to that on this album. His offerings he gave on here on some of the tracks. Now, one track I gotta give him some slander on, and that's later on in the album. But this one was good. All right, so track 6.
It's my favorite on the album, man. Kids. And listen, man. Andre came in. I thought he came with it. And like with this album, again, to give them kudos, I felt like Tribe, they took their own sound, they stayed true to who they were, and they just updated it with the 2016 twist. But, you know what I'm saying, they didn't go reaching for artists that were going to, like, they didn't go get Young Thug.
Yes.
Or they didn't go get 21 Savage and all of
Yes.
that. Like, they didn't try to pander to the kids. No pun.
Yes.
But, they got artists that would really fit their sound. And I felt like Q-Tip and Andre going back and forth on this.
Yeah.
I liked it.
That was butter. I said the same thing. I didn't. I said this to you before. I thought the Andre verse was a little bit mailed in. I thought he could have gave a little bit more. But I like the fact that they got artists that, in my opinion, probably influenced them. Like Tribe influenced them. They came with the Anderson Paak. They came with the Kendrick. They came with the Consequence and Andre and Talib Kweli. And all those people can kind of have a Tribe Called Quest sound. And I like that. And one thing, like, and I'm on record, you go back and look at any of our past podcasts or videos, I don't like when newer or older artists get with newer hot artists that are catchy and put them on songs when that the older artist cannot appreciate that because it's not music.
Yeah.
It's like you're just doing it to get a buzz.
It was that De La 2 Chainz.
Exactly.
Kinda,
oh my gosh, that dude. Yeah. And I never. And one thing about it too, which is just music is in a great space. Who would ever think that we'd have a De La Soul and a Tribe Called Quest album in the same year?
In 2016, yeah, that's great. But I mean, it's unfortunate De La Soul.
Yeah, De La Soul. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't deliver.
No, they didn't.
But
they didn't. Okay, so next track 7.
Melatonin. It's just another,
I wrote that. I said blah. Heavy Q-Tip.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the thing, though. I really like Q-Tip. Like,
do you?
I'm an equal fan of Q-Tip and Phife. I felt like they played off of each other so well. You know what I'm saying? With Q-Tip having a little bit more of just a different voice. Like, he got that kind of high pitch, almost nasally sound about him.
Very nasally.
Phife has a real, low, smooth flow about him. And I felt like that played well off each other. But yeah, you can get enough of Q-Tip.
You know what it was? It was a documentary that got me. Michael Rappaport's documentary on them put me in a different place with Q-Tip because it was like it painted a picture that Q-Tip was hanging up the group, and it was I never thought he was just that nice. I always thought Phife was much better. And
Q-Tip was the undisputed leader of that group.
He was the leader.
Yeah.
But that was the problem with the group, though.
Yeah.
He tried to make decisions, and Phife bucked back.
Yeah.
And then Phife got sick, and then it was just like they just never got back to form again.
That same rhythm, but I mean, they had a heck of a run.
They had a heck of a run. But it's one of those groups that I will say, Tribe Called Quest is one of those groups when you talk about best hip hop groups, they get left out. Like people, I mean, everyone names Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
They'll put Wu-Tang as number one. Eric B. and Rakim, which is I don't know if there's a group, but people name them, and I think Tribe kind of gets left off a lot of times. Man.
I think that from a listener's perspective, they do, but from an artist's perspective, like, you always hear Tribe get the nod.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of your favorite, just kind of off-the-wall artists always give, piece of Tribe.
Yeah, they influenced a lot, man.
They did. Absolutely.
They influenced a lot. Okay, so next track.
Enough. I liked Enough.
Come on.
I liked Enough. I thought it was decent, man. I thought it was cool, man.
This was the last track on CD1. They should have stopped it at the last song. Okay, this one. I mean, it's like they took the tape recorder, went back to 89.
Yeah.
Hit record.
That's why I liked it. That's what I liked about it, man. They had that throwback sound on it.
Nah. But the beat was good.
Yeah,
I thought the beat was good.
I thought it went.
Whoever rapped first, I think that was Ashahi Muhammad that rapped. And he never rapped before. He rapped a couple times in the past on the albums, and this is one of which he should not have. this one, no, I didn't like that.
Man, that's cold blooded, man. I liked Enough, man. Yeah, I liked it.
Hey, listen, he does a heck of a job production wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So starting off on CD2, the very first track,
Mobius.
I love this song. I thought Consequence did a very good verse.
Yo,
I don't know. Consequence sounds
he
inspired.
sounds good.
Man. Yeah,
he sounds good on this album.
To the point where I had to go look and who it was.
Yeah,
because I was looking like, okay, I recognize it. I don't hear. Okay, I hear this, and I was like, let me go see who this is. I went and I said, I looked it up, and I said, okay, I saw the name. I hit the name on Wikipedia, and I said, oh my God, that's Consequence.
Yeah,
yo, he was
going on this album.
He was doing his thing, and listen, Kanye, if you're out there and you see this, go get Consequence back on retainer and revive your career again, okay? Because you haven't said anything noteworthy in the past 6 years. I mean, that I can really repeat and say that it was actually good. Like, oh, Kanye was actually spitting. Go get him back on retainer. Go get Rhyme Fest together again, and go make some classic music for me, Kanye.
Man,
right?
Listen, I don't know that Cons has too many of those verses left in him because I mean, this was like stressed out Consequence. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the verse that I heard Cons. So I was like, yo, this kid could be nice. He could be something. And then he fell off face of the earth.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Then he came back with good music, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But like he came with it on this.
He was rapping like he had bills on this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was stressed out working back at the call center.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
Something's in the red.
On the bus.
Yeah, he's in the red on a couple of things. Something's about to get turned off. That's what he was rapping like. But yeah, Consequence sounded dope. Buster gave a good verse on this one. I love this song. I just loved it. I thought it was a good track.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
So then track 2.
Blacks. Listen. Man, listen. Spaz Madoc. I don't know. Yeah. Skip. Keep on going. Yeah.
You know what? One thing I will say though on it, I did like Phife did his thing on this one. Q-Tip flowed well. They actually piggybacked off each other okay. I didn't understand the ad libs.
Yeah,
like it was like almost like the track was done or they finished it and then you would just put like they would have an ad lib of a girl moaning or not moaning but like kind of giving her cadence on something, but it didn't even go with the song. I didn't get it. It's almost like the album was finished and they just went back and touched it up with a paintbrush. Yeah. They just colored like this.
I'm telling I think that album too was, you know what I'm saying, maybe taking some unused Phife verses and just kind of adding on top of them, just trying to layer something up there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, that's the same thing I said. Let's see. Track 3.
Killing Season.
Love it.
Yeah, even though Kanye kind of came in with a weird hook on there or whatever, I thought it worked somehow, some way. I love that track, man. Got a great beat. You know what I'm saying?
That violin pulled me in, pause.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the violin, like I said, this is the song I kept playing over. Like I was cleaning up and listening to it, like, yo, this is all right here, man. I love this song. Then okay, so in the part about once again the chorus, I did not feel the chorus. I didn't like it. But then once I looked at who did the chorus, I realized why I didn't like it as much. It was Kanye. It didn't fit. It just didn't fit, man. It was almost like they went and got Kanye just to say they got him on the album.
I think that, I think it was supposed to not fit. Like,
really?
I think it was supposed to be a little bit jarring getting in there. Yeah.
Kweli
kind of draw that thing, trying to draw the listener back in.
Yeah, I didn't like, don't draw me in with that. Kweli sounded good. I'm not really a big Kweli fan.
I know.
And
That's why I'm surprised to hear it.
I did. I thought he sounded good, man. I really did. I thought everybody sounded good except for that chorus just didn't fit.
I liked it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would. You like that abstract stuff because like keeps you on your edge.
Keeps you on your toes, man.
Yes, keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas me, I like the violin. Everything just sounded so soulful. Then here come Kanye, which is he was known in the past to be, man. I want him to get back to that form, man.
I don't know that he did any production. I think he might have just lended vocals. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
But I do like the song. Like I said, I'm just nitpicking. When we review stuff, and I know the younger folk come in, you guys are hating. It's not that. We just go all the way in on what we think about things.
And it's just our opinion.
It's just our opinion. The good thing about music is we're all right.
Yeah.
We're all right.
Absolutely. It's subjective.
Exactly. All right, next track.
Lost Somebody.
Miss Me With This. And the reason why I say that is this was a horrible dedication to Phife. If this was, because it came off like it was a dedication to Phife, they could have done way better than this.
Yeah.
I just really feel like, give us a Missing You. Diddy probably gave his best performance on that song to Big, man.
Yeah,
and I just didn't get this song, man. I thought it was, I don't know. It's hard for me to give it a bad review because it is a dedication to Phife is what it sounds like. The singer, who is that? And get them all the way out of here. I just didn't think they sounded good at all.
Yeah.
Can we get a Jill Scott? Can we even pull that? Can we pull my boy Anderson on this song?
Yeah.
Somebody other than that, whoever that was. And I'm sorry. Shout out to you. If you see this, I apologize. I just didn't like you on this song.
Hey man, it goes down like that sometimes.
It is. It's like, and then another thing about it I had written down too was toward the second half, where did the beat go? It was like they were recording a song and somebody hit record on the second tape deck,
Bruh.
and they just said we ain't got no more money for studio time, so let it rock. And they just cut it and let it
Bruh,
go.
that's what I'm saying. Like you got a lot of those just kind of just drop offs.
Yeah, but this one though, Kev, it was like the beat was going, and then
boom.
another beat just comes in and kind of like mesh over it,
Yeah.
and they didn't even go together.
Nope. It was just it was a drawing transition. Listen. That was another one. They could have left this on the cutting room floor for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so get that one all the way out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, next track.
I like moving backwards.
Yeah,
I
Anderson
like
did his
yeah,
thing.
Anderson always holds
He
down.
does,
like,
man.
He might be undefeated right
That
now.
dude's he's a talented dude. Man.
Yeah, he
you know,
is.
he's very talented. He bodies it. That's the only thing I have written down for that one. I said it was a good track. Anderson bodied it.
Yep. He came in, did his thing.
Okay, next track.
Comrade Tokyo
Yeah.
again. We can
We can move on.
Yeah.
Kendrick came in, did what Kendrick does.
Yeah.
He gave a spirited offering too.
He did.
You know, and which we always can expect him to do. And once again, another artist that I believe probably influenced his career.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
and you can hear it in you definitely can hear it in To Pimp a Butterfly. Just some of the stuff that's on there, but so yeah, that's all I really.
See, I would say Untitled Unmastered.
Untitled
hear it a lot
Unmastered?
more, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You hear a lot more in there.
Yeah. Okay,
Like
yeah.
a song like Blue Faces and stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely could hear a lot.
You know
of
what?
Tribe
You're
Called
right.
Quest.
A lot of the skits too on that album.
Yep.
You know. Okay, so yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, next song.
And then we got Ego. You know what?
Ego.
I really liked Ego, and I didn't think the first playthrough I was kind of on the fence with it, and then kind of listening to Tip, I thought it was dope. Like the concept of the things that they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? The way that ego affects people, and I thought it was real good.
Did you feel like they were explaining how ego affects them?
Yes.
Okay,
in a lot of ways.
That's how I took it. It was almost like our egos is the reason what got in our way.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and once again, which I believe is that a lot of fans, or not just fans of them, just fans of music, kind of leave them off the best hip hop group because of their ego. Because remember when they actually just kind of just split up. Q-Tip went and did his thing, and it was like Phife and then was like kind of left on the wayside almost. And then Phife got sick, so maybe they made up and couldn't get together. But the ego of them is probably what held them back.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were kind of saying on this song, which I thought was very dope. Like just like you said, the first listen, I was like, "What is this?" And after listening to it, like my third listen to the album, it kind of flowed in. I was like, "Okay, this actually makes a lot of sense."
Yeah.
You know.
Tribe is just such a polarizing kind of group because like they pioneered a sound that was completely different than what was out there. Like I always like to say that they kind of ushered in the Peace Brother movement. You know what I'm saying? Like they made a way for like De La and
Oh
like,
yeah,
all those PM Dawn to exist and all those kind of groups.
Absolutely, Digable
in
Planets.
the early '90s, back when gangster rap was dominating and stuff.
Because
like
it was one or the other. You had them and you had the earthy people.
Yep.
Which is what it was like, Digable Planets and Far Side.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, a lot
of those like earthy Peace Brother groups came out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I definitely think that they ushered it in, but then it was kind of like they took a turn. Like once Q-Tip went solo, like they were
a little poppy almost.
Yeah, a
Almost
little bit.
pop.
Like people hate the Love Movement. Like
Yeah,
I mean, like,
but I
just
thought
be
Love
honest.
Movement was okay.
Yo, I like the lead single off of there, Find a Way. Find a Way was my jam back in the day, but the rest of the album was a little.
It was Q-Tip.
Yeah, it was all
very,
Tip.
It was very Tip. Pause. Okay, so next track.
Then lastly, the Donald.
Yeah.
But it was cool, I guess. I mean, they kind of had to throw it in there. It spoke to the times, I guess.
After
But
Buster's
it was
rant, I don't know what the heck the beginning was.
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
Buster, I didn't get it. Like I get he was getting to his island thing, and I just didn't understand what in the world, why that had to be, why that was even there. But after he was done, once again, it was one of those where the song transitioned into something else.
Yeah.
It actually was pretty decent how it ended.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a nice way to end off the album. I
Yeah.
mean, I do wish that they would have kind of ended it off on maybe a tribute to Phife.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Did a little something extra for him. At
Even
the
if
end
they
there.
did the redid scenario.
Yeah.
Just redo it. Have
Yeah.
somebody else rap.
But,
somebody else
you
over
know.
it, I don't know. But yeah, all in all, I'm gonna give my thoughts, man. I thought it was a decent album. I thought it was an album that was for the fans.
Absolutely.
If you're a true Tribe Called Quest fan, this album is for you, and you will enjoy it. And even people who are not big Tribe Called Quest fans, it kind of could usher you into listening to some of their older stuff. This one, it in my opinion doesn't give a good rendition of who Phife Dawg is, but how can you when he passed away? And it sounded like maybe they didn't do a lot of recording because they didn't have a lot of his verses And like we said earlier in our review, some of the songs that had kind of dated Phife Dawg verses, they probably were very old verses, but it was only like two or three of them. So, all in all, I rated it as an 82. I thought it was an okay album for Tribe, and I just, my heart would not allow me go lower than that. If this would have been someone else, I probably would have crapped on it a little bit more. But I do think that they could have condensed both albums down to one CD, and it'd been a better album.
You know, a lot of hip hop albums are plagued by that. If you look at a lot of double discs, you know what I'm saying? Blueprint 2. All Eyes on Me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of, or hold on, was that, is it Me Against the World? That's the double disc.
No, it was All
Eyes on Me. There we go, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these double discs, they, listen, man, life after death.
We're not getting into that.
Yeah, we're not gonna go too far with that. They run into that plague. I definitely think if they would have maybe cut this album down to about 12 tracks, you know what I'm saying, we might be looking at something that might be hovering up in the 90s.
Yeah.
But with it, I rated it out at an 84.
Okay.
And I mean, this might be a little bit of a bump just because, I mean, with GamesMusicLyfe, I mean, we were inspired by beats, rhymes, and life.
Absolutely,
like, you know
man. Absolutely. So, you're absolutely right. It was, like I said, they were a group that was just, they ushered in a sound, like you said earlier. So dope, man. It was that soulful, but you know, I mean, just everything that go along with it. And when you think of hip hop, you think of Tribe.
Yeah, so awkward, so unorthodox, and it just worked. I mean, the Bonita Applebaum sample, classic. Electronic relaxation, like, come on, Stressed Out, like, yo, Stressed Out is still one of my favorite songs to this day. Like,
man, you think about it, High Tech, not High Tech, I'm sorry, Most Def and Talib Kweli, what was the group they had?
Black Star.
Yeah. I mean, that was a Tribe Called Quest, you know.
Yeah, that was a tribute. Yeah.
Definitely a tribute. I mean, that was one of the classic albums of all time, man.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, if we didn't have them Tribe, we wouldn't have had a lot of sound of a lot of people, so.
And I felt like they did a good job, man. Like, it wasn't like that De La album where they were trying to pander to the masses.
No.
Like, they stayed true to who they were.
They did stay true to who they were, and they rapped about things that, you know, they go through.
Yeah.
But, like I said, just my only gripe with it, I just wish it was more Phife. And
yeah, I mean, hearing Tip and Phife go back and forth again, man, that was nice. That brought me back to my childhood. You know what I'm saying? It was nice.
So leaving the project, I'm going to definitely check for some more Consequence, man, because Consequence got bills.
I don't know.
Something's due. I'm not going to not an album. Not an album. Yeah. But I think if he was, once again, Kanye, get the guy on retainer. Get you a sweatshop like Drake has a sweatshop. And get him on retainer, man. Let's get this good music out here, man.
Yeah.
You know, let's get it out here. But that's it, man. Anything else?
Nah, man, that was it, man.
All right, man. So once again, man, this is Nate here.
This is Kev.
2/3 of the super group that is GamesMusicLyfe.
Let us know what you think, man. Until the next time, drink more water.